Now that you know how the color picker works, let's talk about color theory. Color theory is the art of mixing colors to achieve beautiful designs. It was developed by painters, therefore it relies on the subtractive color system, and not the additive color system, the one we explored in the previous video. I know all this might be a bit confusing, so let me first make the distinction between the two again. Additive colors are created by adding light, so at first there is no light, only darkness. Then lights of various colors are added to make new colors. So let's say we turn on a red light, and then we add a green light, we'll get a yellow light. The three primary additive colors that allow to create all the other colors are red, green and blue. This is the RGB system used for computer screens. The main reason why you need to know that is to understand how the color picker works. That was the subject of the previous video. So this was useful from a technical point of view. What we want to understand now is how to choose colors and how to associate them, and this is what we call color theory, and this is useful from a design and aesthetic point of view. As I said, color theory was developed by painters, so it uses the subtractive color system, which is the color system used in painting, of course. The term subtractive comes from how when these colors are mixed together, they absorb some wavelengths of light and reflect others. Subtractive colors start with white light. Wavelengths are then subtracted by the surface the light is reflected on, and this creates other colors. And as you might remember from painting classes in primary school, the three primary colors that can be mixed to create other colors are red, yellow and blue. The color wheel used in color theory relies on the subtractive color system. This is why it is different from the additive color wheel we talked about in the previous video, and that you won't really need to use except when explaining to your friends or teammates how color is created on their phone or computer screen. On the contrary, the subtractive color wheel will be your best friend when mixing colors, and we'll use it quite often. The color wheel starts with the three primary colors blue, red and yellow. And the secondary colors are then created by mixing primary colors 2 by 2. Red and yellow makes orange, red and blue purple, and blue and yellow green. Finally, tertiary colors complete the color wheel. Each tertiary color is a mix between a primary and a secondary color. For example, red-orange is a mix between the primary color red and the secondary color orange. Of course, we also have all the colors in between, which are created by doing the same operation, which is mixing adjacent colors. On top of that, we can add tints, shades, and tones to the color wheel to extend the palette. If a color is made lighter by adding white, the result is called a tint. If black is added, the darker version is called a shade. And if grey is added, the result is a different tone. Alright, now that we have colors to choose from, let's talk about how to choose them. What we'll be doing in this lesson and in the next one is create a color scheme. A color scheme is basically the choice of colors we'll be using in our designs. And these are 3 examples of color schemes. A good framework to come up with color schemes is to first select the base color, then select secondary colors by using harmony principles. This is where we'll use the color wheel we just talked about. And then polish our scheme by adjusting tints, shades and tones. So we'll start by selecting a base color. The base color sets the general mood of your design. Colors usually bear different meanings, and using red as a base color will tacitly imply a different message than using blue, for instance. You need to have a good understanding of color psychology to choose a color that represents the purpose and meaning of your app. But before we start, I need to warn you, despite the science behind color theory, appreciation of colors stays subjective. Personal preferences and cultural differences play a huge role in the perception of colors. So, use the following suggestions, but keep in mind that colors can have different meanings, especially depending on the part of the world where the people you're building your product for live. As usual, always keep your user in mind. For instance, in the Western world, red is often associated with love and passion, or danger and blood. But in China, red is the color of prosperity and happiness. In other Eastern cultures, red is worn by brides on their wedding days, while in South Africa red is the color of mourning. One of the designers I've interviewed while preparing this course told me, "For my last project, a tutoring startup in China, I worked heavily with warmer colors. Reds and yellows are really important in Chinese culture. They are related to royalty and success, and we wanted to communicate that sort of vibe. We wanted clients to see the site and think, whoa, these guys are the best and will really offer my kid an opportunity to succeed." This guy is called Cole Townsend, and he's a really talented designer. You should check out his work at coletownsend.com. The link is in the description. The most common way to classify colors' meanings is to group them in three families: warm colors, cool colors, and neutral colors. The distinction between warm and cool colors is funny because in reality it's quite the opposite. The warmest part of a flame is blue, and in the sky the other stars radiate blue and the coolest radiate red. But anyway, let's start with warm colors. Warm colors include red, orange, and yellow, and variations of these three colors. Warm colors are vivid, energetic, and positive, and they're often associated with sun, summer, or fire. They express warmth, passion, happiness, enthusiasm, and energy. Red is the color of fire and blood, but also love and passion. Use it as a base color if you want to convey the following meanings: energy, strength, power, romance, determination, action, confidence, courage, vitality, desire, or danger. Red can be a bit overwhelming if used too intensively, especially in its purest form. But it can still make a great base color. It is, among others, Path, Meetup, and Pinterest base color. The designers from Path have chosen a darker shade of red to make it less aggressive. The designers of Meetup have used a different hue of red. And Pinterest app only uses red for title and active buttons. Red has a high visibility and advances to the foreground. Therefore, it is very useful for call to action. One of the best examples of this is the notification on your iOS home screen. Look at this screenshot. The first thing that catch your eye are the two notification badges. Yellow is the color of the sun. As you can see, it is the brightest color. It's associated with happiness. Use it as a base color if you want to convey positive meanings like hope, joy, cheerfulness, or wisdom and intellectual energy. It can also mean danger, although not as much as red. If you want to use it as a base color, use a slightly darker shade for a background or a header background. You'll keep the joyfulness without the blinding aspect of the pure hue. Or use it to brighten black and white designs and to stimulate and get the attention of the user, like Amazon does for its buttons and stars. Orange combines the energy of red with the happiness of yellow. It's a vibrant color that commands attention without being as overpowering as red. Use it as a base color if you want your product to convey energy, joy, tropics, enthusiasm, creativity, success, determination, attraction, encouragement, stimulation, and strength. It can also make some people think about autumn because of the falling leaves. Play a bit with the different hues. You'll see that you'll get different feelings depending on what you come up with. The guys from Sunrise did a great job at using a vibrant orange for their header, button, and links in the former version of their app. It is another very effective color for calls to action. It has one of the highest visibility rates, so elements that contain orange will stand out and grab the user's attention and can effectively highlight important elements of any design. The touches of orange in the SoundCloud app helps structure the page, and LinkedIn uses orange for notifications because it is the complementary color of blue. I'll explain what complementary means in the next video. Cool colors include green, blue, and purple. They are the colors of water and nature. While warm colors are said to arouse or stimulate the viewer, cool colors tend to calm and relax. And while warm colors are said to advance or appear more active, cool colors tend to recede. Therefore, they are less often used for getting the attention of the user. Blue is the color of the sky and the color of the sea. It has the opposite effect of red and slows metabolism, breathing, and heart rate. So don't use it to grab a user attention. Use blue as a base color if you want to convey stability, depth, expertise, trust, intelligence, or if you want to create a calm and clean environment. Another interesting point about blue is that it suppresses the appetite, so don't use it when trying to sell food products. The meaning of blue depends a lot on the exact shade and hue. Light blues are often relaxing and calming. Bright blues can be energizing and refreshing. Runkeeper, a fitness app, uses a bright blue, for instance. Dark blues are excellent for corporate sites or designs where strength and reliability are important. Facebook is a good example of that. Also note that using blue for links is very common on the web. Green is the color of nature. Green has many of the same calming attributes that blue has, but it also incorporates some of the energy of yellow. Use it as a base color if you want to convey growth, renewal, fertility, freshness, and hope, but also healing, wealth, money obviously, stability, endurance, harmony and safety. Green is a great base color for creating a calming design because it's the most restful color on the human eye. Dark greens are representative of stability, and olive greens are more representative of the natural world. Green is also very commonly used to signify validation. I'm sure you've seen green checkmarks in many apps. Purple combines the stability of blue and the energy of red. It is the color of royalty. Use it as a base color to convey power, nobility, luxury, wisdom and ambition, but also things like extravagance, creativity, mystery and magic. Purple is also a popular color with children, and light purple is often seen as feminine and associated with romance. Except for light purple, purple can be a bit overwhelming. Since it's a combination of blue and red, it can be used efficiently as a call to action too, like in the screenshot from Director on the right. Also, note that by default on the web, purple is the color of a clicked link. And finally, we have the neutral colors. Neutral colors often serve as the backdrop in design. They are commonly combined with brighter colors. Their emotional impact is less important, and they're much more affected by the colors that surround them. The two main neutral colors are black and white. Black itself is often associated with death and darkness or mystery, but it also represents elegance, power, strength, authority, or prestige. Black is a great anchor for any color scheme because it contrasts very well with most colors. It's also very efficient to bring out pictures. If your background is black, your text will probably be white, and this can sometimes be a bit hard on the eyes. So, if you have large quantities of text, avoid that option. In design, black is commonly used for typography, but try to use a slightly lighter tint of black for your text. It will be more pleasant to read than pure black. And our last color is white. White is often associated with cleanliness, purity and perfection. Space, objectivity, goodness, innocence, purity, virginity, that kind of stuff. It usually has a positive connotation, and it's seen as clean and safe. That's why it is heavily used by the healthcare industry, but also charities and religious groups. It's also the color of wedding in Western civilizations. It makes a great base color because it contrasts very well with any color, just as black does, but it doesn't overwhelm the contrasting color, making it easier on the eye. Using white as a base color will allow you to let other colors have a larger voice. Thanks to its objectivity, it will be easy to use several other colors, if you need to. If you have a lot of content, especially text or images, don't think twice. White or light gray is your background color. You will have to try many different colors, shades, tones and tints before you find the right one. Among the files you've downloaded, there is a color theory cheat sheet with a summary of what I've said in this lesson and what I'll explain in the next one. It will be very useful when doing this work. Don't forget to look around for inspiration and to test your ideas in your designs. So, once you've made up your mind about the color you want to use as a base color, add it to your style guide. You can use the file we've created in the lesson on typography or the one that's in the folder of this course. We'll just draw a square, remove the borders, and I'll write the hex code of the color we'll be using. And that's it.